Hello there, and welcome to my Unison League channel, and I will be your host, Timely. So, I really wanted to put out this video, but I couldn't because I was working on the top 10 monster guide and the Colosseum guide, so I didn't really have time. And also, I have not been sleeping. I have been staying awake to do first Colo. It has fucked up my sleeping pattern. I'm screwed. I don't know what I'm going to do. Feck. But it's okay. I always recover after Colo ends. But every time Colo comes, my sleeping pattern is done. But I digress. Let's talk about this new monster that just came out. Alright, so we have here Mortal Sin of Sloth, Belvia. Now, I love how this monster looks, guys. She looks amazing. Her aesthetic, her clothes, her color scheme, and even her theme all look gorgeous, guys. Even look at her attack animation. She kind of sends out like a psi wave or something like that to like control your dreams or something. Very, very nice. I'll let her control my dreams any day. I'm sorry, I had to do it. No regrets. Well, anyways, let's check out her skill. So we have Sloth Taper. Now she is a wait, guys, check out this duel real quick. And I'm so sorry, Meowie Jane. I tried to save you, but I didn't catch you in time. Please forgive me. But all is not lost yet. We still have next round. So I will get my Unison back and then kill myself. So now we will wait here in a Mexican standoff, waiting to kill each other. I will let her throw first and then I will throw second. Okay, so we got the Lancelot Holmes and the Queen of Duel and Colo. Croit has come to steal our Unison away, but not today, Satan. Not today. Lancelot's health buff saves us, and then my Holmes turns the debuffs into buffs and delete. Very nice. And then I will give my boy Hanzo down here a light of relief and go crazy, my friend. Now, we got pretty lucky here that they didn't have a Branma or an Odin to wipe us in this instant. Now, if you look at the Unison damage taken by each side, Hanzo tanks this Tourbillon very easily. You can tell he has Xeno armors on. And then Chao Wu takes like 5 hits from Odin. Now that is very impressive. He must have lots and lots of light defense or star defense with Xeno gears. Very impressive. So props to you guys. Now, let's continue. So we have Sloth Taper, which increases the activation priority of this Unison effect by 1. So she is a priority monster, guys. She will move first in almost any situation. Then she gives a 30% regen for 30 seconds, which is a 6-stack regen. That is probably the most potent regen in the game right now. However, it only lasts for 30 seconds, which is not very long. Then, she nullifies any Unison gauge reduction effects on all allies for 60 seconds. Now, I actually tested this with my good buddy, Polaris. Thanks for coming out, Polaris, and showing me how this ability works in person. Well, not in person, but in game. So if you look closely, moves like Omen do not affect Belvia. So negative pressure, Omen, even Croit and Zeldris will not have an effect against her. Now if you look closely, this kind of continuous buff lasts for 60 seconds. Now this can be very, very powerful, guys. So let us speculate. So if we were to throw her in first round in guild battle, say you have a rook on your team and you guys are all tanky as fuck, and then your treasure hunter sets up this new monster, Belvia, right before the crystal assault. So you guys, your entire team is going to have this nullifying Unison gauge effect for 60 seconds. your CB assault only lasts for 40 seconds, so you're going to have at least 15 seconds to roll over into the next round. And during that 15 seconds, you are going to be invulnerable towards Omen and negative pressure. That is so OP. And then if you have a Rook, you can pop Devoted Sacrifice to make all of your allies and yourself invulnerable right before Unison battles. So I can see her being really, really good for that kind of setup for GB. And also, her value in player versus enemy is going to be very, very high too, because lots and lots of monsters like to use Unison Gauge draining abilities at certain thresholds of their health, or sometimes they just take away your Unison just for the hell of it. So she's going to be a very good alternative to Hero. And yes, Hero has built-in nullifying Unison Gauge effects into it, if you didn't know. However, let's continue. So she removes status ailments from all allies, and then applies a continuous buff that removes status ailments from all allies every 10 seconds for 60 seconds. Now, if you compare that to Tsukiyomi, Tsukiyomi's buff only lasts for 40 seconds, while Belvia lasts for 60 seconds, which is a huge upgrade by 20 seconds. It is also like that for her next buff as well, which is a continuous buff that fills the Unison Gauge of all allies by 5 every 10 seconds for 60 seconds. And again, Tsukiyomi's is only 40 seconds, while Belvia's is 60 seconds. So it's a nice little upgrade from Tsukiyomi to Belvia. And then she has a demerit, which removes 5 costs from all allies, if you can even call that a demerit. Like, that's nothing. And then lastly, she increases the ability power of all allies star unison damage by 40 for 60 seconds, and then casts Resurrection on your character, which is to be expected, because all the priority monsters do that. So, that's all I have for now, guys. If you guys enjoyed the video, please like and subscribe for more. I have to get going now. Peace. Don't close that video just yet. It's time for my afterword. So recently, I bought 235 cost Ninoyus to feed into my Spica. I really like my Spica a lot, and I wanted to infuse her twice to get the extra ability power and the extra stats. I then used those gems to buy the monster orbs and ether drops in the grocery cart to infuse my other monsters even further. I used my leftover gems to do the step-up spawn to get the fodder, to get Bastet and Gremory. I was able to pot my Gremory and my Bastet to get even more stats. Now, I'm even more OP. And all of the Unison League females will be like, "Oh, Timely, your gear score is so high. I'm like instantly attracted to you now." Nah, just kidding, I'm still weak sauce. Bye!